Hi friends, welcome back to the Goose and Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley and I am the maker and designer behind Goose and Ghost Knits. You can find me on Instagram as Goose and Ghost Knits and on Ravelry as Goose and Ghost. And I'm coming to you today in a slightly different location than normal because I have finally come to the realization that my normal filming spot doesn't work so well in the winter just for the sun's location. It's a little bit blinding and the light, no way. So I am still in Salem, Washington, as I am every week, but I'm just in a slightly different place in my room. Normally I'm over in this corner over here for my closet, but today I'm facing the window instead of adjacent to the window. So you get to see my TV. It's going to work as our backdrop. And I'll be fine because the lighting here is so much nicer than it is over there. Over there. But we're coming to you today with not a podcast episode, as we normally do, but with a yearly wrap-up video. I do have 2 of these coming this month in my quest to do a video every single week in December. So the video for this week, we're going to do my 2024 knitting goals. And I have got a big old bag of yarn here of things to show you. This is my Knitting Notions bag, available in my shop right now in the large size. So this is available. But I've got a big old bag of yarn to show you 15 different projects that I want to get done in 2024. Is getting all of these done in 2024 realistic? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't get done all of the projects that I said I wanted to for 2023, so we'll see. But we'll start real quick before we jump into the projects. What I'm wearing, I am wearing the Alkai shawl by me. This came out in May, and it is an asymmetric shawl, and it's just draped over one shoulder. But this yarn here, this is Kelborn Woolen Scout in the color Strawberry Heather, and this is knitting for Olive soft silk mohair, and it's not Merlot. It's something else. I don't remember. But it's soft silk mohair. And it's lovely. And it's just very simple, easy to memorize stitches that work up into a really cozy, warm sweater. And then, you know, I knew that I had to film today, so I prepped myself a little bit and I did a little wedding makeup trial, and I'm feeling pretty. I'm not going to wear red lips on my wedding day, but I wanted to wear red lips today, so that's everything else. I'm feeling pretty. And it's good that I had to do a trial because I now know what other makeup that I need to go buy. So, shall we jump into what I want to make for 2024? I have, like I said, I have 15 patterns, 1 blanket, 6 sweaters, 2 shawls, and 6 small accessories. So we'll go through all of those category by category, and we'll start with the blanket. And as I go through it, I will pop up pictures of those patterns right here, and I've got my laptop here with Ravelry open for each of those patterns, so I can go through and give descriptions and information and everything for all of them. So for the blanket, I'm not typically a blanket knitter. I don't quite enjoy the strain that it puts on my muscles, especially my forearms, my wrists right here. Once it just starts to get too heavy, my wrists don't like it. So I don't typically knit blankets. But this blanket is a little bit different. This is From Grandma with Love by Melanie Berg. And I will be knitting this in my 2023 monthly club that I got from Fangirl Fibers. This is the Disney Parks Attractions Club. So I got 1 skein of fingering weight yarn every month for all of 2023. And I said from the beginning, I'm redoing this making this as the yarn comes in, and then it didn't. And now it's December and I've barely touched any of them. Actually, I started one square. So that's how this blanket is constructed. Is you make individual squares, and at the end you seam them all up with a crochet hook. I believe it's with a crochet hook. But doing them in individual squares makes it just a little bit easier. It makes it a lot easier on my wrist. This doesn't make it heavy, it doesn't make it bulky. I can work on one square at a time. I can bring the project with me places, and it's repetitive. I'm going to be making so many of these squares because this is going to be like, it's going to be a blanket. Like, it's going to be a good sized blanket. This is the first block that I had started. I want to say I made this back in like April or May, maybe even June. I started it way later than I said I was going to. But it's not on needles right now. It's not blocked, like it is scrunched up. This is the first square that I had started, and I stopped working on it because I didn't have a border color. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. Because I wanted to keep like the essence of the blanket feel like Disney parks. I wanted it to keep it feeling very Disney, and I didn't know what color would work with all of the colors I'd be receiving and what would still feel Disney, because like I didn't want to go with black because that's just really moody and dark, and I didn't want to go with white because it feels like something that would get dirty too easy. But now that things are like wrapping up and I have seen almost every color, I was able to make a decision. And I ordered Knit Picks palette in the color navy, and it'll go as the border for all of the blankets, and then this will be what's used to seam up. So this is palette. It is fingering weight, 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and they sell, Knit Pick sells it in 50-gram little balls. So this is the one square that is mostly done. I may even rip this out to just do it completely so I don't have to bother with trying to pick up the stitches from this. But this was January's color. It is Small World. But I'm not going to show you all of the months because it's a lot of yarn. So I'll show you them as I work on them. But that is project number one that I want to get done next year, is my blanket, my Disney blanket. So then we shall move on to sweaters. Like I said, I have 6 sweaters. I generally am a sweater knitter. I really enjoy making bigger projects. Lately, I have been in my small accessories era, have been really enjoying quicker, smaller projects. And maybe that's because I've been very overwhelmed lately and that's all I can process. Or it's very cold and I need mittens and hats and things very quickly. But typically, I'm a sweater knitter and I really enjoy knitting sweaters. So I have 6 sweaters that I want to knit next year. And we'll go through them one by one. These aren't necessarily the order that I'm going to knit them in, but it is what it is. Another note about all of these sweaters is they are all going to be size inclusive. That is very important to me, that anyone is able to knit something. So if that's important to you too, hey, let's be friends. All of these sweaters will run through, at minimum, a 60-inch bust. The first sweater up is Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry, and this sweater was, in fact, yes, on my 2023 Make 9. Did I get to it? No. I, in fact, did not. So, moving on. This is a fingering weight sweater. I will be using Knit Picks palette, which is 2 projects in a row using palettes. I'm not using it anywhere else, I promise. But this is the color that I have chosen. It is a deep, deep teal. It's a very pretty color. It's called Shawls. Gorgeous bluey green color. And the fun thing about the wool and honey is this honeycomb design that goes across the yoke, and it's knit in reverse stockinette. So I actually believe that you knit it's knit in garter, sorry, not reverse stockinette. It has a garter texture over the entire body. And I've heard that if you are going to knit this, I keep looking down because I'm looking at the pictures on my laptop, which is down. So I'm not trying to avoid you or anything. I have heard that if you are going to knit this, to use a stickier yarn, something that is 100% wool, something non-superwash, so like this, because just how the cables of the honeycombs are, it's a lot easier if the wool is a little bit sticky. So that's part of the reason why I picked palette. I also picked palette because it's cheap. It's really affordable. Yeah. So I really want to wear this. I've been wanting this sweater for a while. It was on my Make 9 for this year. I didn't get to it, and so I think that this might be an early spring knit for me. The next sweater up that is going to fight for that early spring position with the wool and honey is Halloo by Caitlin Hunter. And oh boy, I have been in love with this sweater since it was released. I've been wanting to make it for so long, and I just keep never quite getting to it. But it's so beautiful. I'm absolutely obsessed. It is a V-neck sweater with this beautiful lace all over the yoke. And I do believe that it is a circular yoke sweater. And it's top down, which is my preference for knitting sweaters. And it's got bobbles, which I really love. And I've been so obsessed with the color of the main sample that Caitlin Hunter knit, and I've wanted it in that color ever since. So I picked a color that is very similar. It is a DK weight sweater, but she uses lace and fingering to get to DK. I have opted just for a straight DK yarn. As much as I love the mohair, I have had some itchiness problems with it lately, so I'm just going to opt for a straight DK. I think I'll tend to grab for it more if it doesn't have the mohair in it. I have 3 sweaters that I've knit with mohair, and I don't reach for them as much as my other ones. So I think that I'll reach for it more if I just use a straight wool yarn. So this is another Knit Picks. Big Knit Picks fan over here. I love an affordable yarn. This is Knit Picks Swish DK in the color Allspice. Just a beautiful, beautiful, warm, rusty orange color that actually matches my hair. So this is my dream. This is my color. I love a warm, rusty, beautiful orange like this. So I've been completely in love with it so much that I wanted to emulate the color of the pattern. So I've been debating back and forth. Do I cast on the wool and honey first, or do I cast on the Halloo first? I can't decide. It will be one of those two. They won't be the next sweater I cast on. I actually think they may be 2 sweaters out. But they are slotted in, definitely, for early 2024. Next sweater up is one that I have actually done a preliminary swatch for, and I need to do another one because my first swatch was not the correct gauge, unfortunately. So This is the Salty Days sweater by Veronica Lindberg, aka Kutavo Kika, and I'm obsessed. So this will be very soon. This will be a wintertime knit for me because I want to wear it. So this is another one that is a DK weight pattern with a, she uses again lace and DK. Hold for what I'm using. And it is a top down crew neck is what she labels it as. So yeah, so you're gonna have the work the back panel and then cast on for the front. What is that called? Drop shoulder. Drop shoulder construction. That's the word I'm looking for. With a lot of positive ease. So the yarn that I'm using, after I just said that I'm not a big fan of mohair, we're going to try something a little different, and I'm going to use Surrey. I'm going to use these two together and see how I react to the Surrey as opposed to the mohair. Off the bat, this is so much softer, and I like it a lot more than the mohair. So, sure. I don't know what Siri's trying to talk to me for. But, okay, so the two yarns are Barocco Ultra Wool DK, which is a super wash wool in the color 8329 Butternut, beautiful gold, and Knit Picks Upcycle Surrey Alpaca in the color Colca Canyon. And together, they look like this. It's going to be a beautiful gold color sweater for me. So the sweater is an all-over texture. It's a little sampler of different textures. I think it's so cute. These two yarns together, they feel like a cloud. This is like one of my favorite swatches, just feel-wise, that I've ever done. And no, it doesn't feel itchy to me on my neck. My itchy places are the back of my neck and my collarbones, so with mohair, so we'll see how it feels with the Surrey. So this will probably be my first sweater cast on of 2024. Not my next sweater cast on, my first of 2024. Yes, it is December 8th. I am going to cast on a sweater this year. I'm going to try and complete a Christmas sweater before Christmas. Wish me luck. Okay. So, that will be my first sweater cast on of next year. And unfortunately, I think that leaves that this one will have to wait until a little bit later in the year. It'll probably be, I don't know if I want to work on this in the middle of summer because it is going to be very, very warm. And I don't know that yarn will cooperate with me. But this is the Port Sweater by Ozetta, aka Haley Smedley. And it is a worsted weight pattern, but she uses lace and worsted together to create worsted. And the reason I picked this is because I've heard from quite a few people that it is a great pattern for boucle yarn. And I picked this boucle up at Flock Fiber Festival in August, and I want a cozy boucle sweatshirt tee sweater. And I think the Port Sweater with the boucle is going to be just absolutely delightful. This yarn is Boucle DK from Explore Knits and Fibers. It is in the color To the Stars Who Listen. And yes, that is a reference to A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I am obsessed with. And I am obsessed with this color. It is so pretty. These two are very similar, but it's fine. This one's more blue, this one's more green. They're very similar. I'm gonna have two pretty colored sweaters at the end of it. And I like what I like, and I know what I look good in. So it is a very simple sweater. It's worked top down. It's just pretty. I have had a couple people tell me that working purl stitches in boucle is very difficult, and not to use this pattern, but then when I've asked for further recommendations, I haven't really gotten anywhere. So if you do have further recommendations for a boucle sweater, please let me know. I am open to it. Like, I'm not emotionally connected to the port sweater, but I've just heard from multiple people that it's the best with a boucle. So if you have other recommendations, please let me know. Okay, next up is one that I actually don't have yarn for yet, but I really like this one. I think it's so cute. This is the Bobby Bomber by Joan Ho, and it's adorable. I think it's so cute. I love baubles. I know that a lot of people really don't like knitting them. I really like knitting baubles. They are one of my favorite things to knit, and I will keep knitting them. So, and this is a bulky weight cardigan, so it should go pretty quickly. I don't know what yarn I want to knit this in. I don't know what color I want to knit this in. I feel like a gold would be so pretty, but I have no clue. So I am open to suggestions. She uses pink and white in her samples. I will not be doing pink. Not my jam, not my color story. But it's so cute. And I feel like it would be so cute with some mom jeans. It would be so cute. The last sweater is another cardigan, and it's another one that I don't have yarn yet for. But it's going to be an endeavor. It's going to be a project, and it's probably one that I should start sooner rather than later, because I know myself, and I haven't reacted well to projects that I have a deadline for. So I should make it like early in the year, right? Right. So this is the Folklore Cardigan by Amy Gunderson. And like everyone else in the world, I am a Swiftie. To the point where Folklore is my era. That is my favorite album, is my emotional support album. I listen to it all the time. It is my favorite. And I didn't get tickets to the Eras tour while it was for the US run, when it was in Seattle, which would be my stop for it. I didn't get tickets. Things were too crazy, didn't have the money for it. All the things. But I do have tickets for Night 3 of Vancouver in 2024, which is in December of next year. So I need an outfit. I need an outfit, and it's going to be December in southwestern Canada, so it's not like, you know, we're going to Winnipeg or something. We're going to Vancouver. That said, the Pacific Northwest is cold in December, and this is an outdoor show. This is in BC Place. It's cold. It's going to be chilly, so I feel like, you know, all of those cute little bodysuits, sparkly bodysuits that everybody was wearing this summer, not going to work for a December show in Vancouver. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. But a cardigan will work. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make myself the Folklore cardigan. Yeah, I think I absolutely am gonna make myself the Folklore cardigan. But I know myself, and I don't hate knitting cables. My wrists hate knitting cables, so I can't do them quickly. So this is going to be like a long-term project, which means that I need to start it sooner rather than later, which means that I need to get yarn for it sooner rather than later. So I'm going to make myself the Folklore cardigan, to make a long story short. And I'm really excited for it. Because I will also, I will wear it all the time. Because it's cute. And it's a cozy cardigan. So the pattern that I have opted for it, there are two versions of it. There is one that Lion Brand put out that is, I think, an Aran or bulky weight yarn, which would go a lot faster and I would probably enjoy more, but it's not size inclusive. Not even a little bit. I think there's 3 sizes to it, which is not great. So I have opted for the version by Amy Gunderson, which was, I think, published with Madeline Tosh, and it is done in DK weight yarn, which actually will probably be better in my hands than doing a heavy bulky weight yarn with cables. I think the DK weight will be better for my hands, but it's fine. And I need to find yarn for it. I'll probably use Knit Pick Swish or something that I can find. Maybe Ultra Wool, which is, it'll be nice too. So I need to find yarn for it, but I'm not ready to start it yet. I'm saying that now. The show is 1 year from next weekend. I have so much time to say that now. But I started my wedding shawl January of last year, and I still haven't finished it. Don't do this to yourself, Ashley. Let's move on to the shawls. So I have 2 shawls to share with you, both by very prolific designers. The first is Wellerman by Caitlin Hunter. I don't have yarn picked out for this yet. It is an Aran weight pattern, and it is a big old shawl. And she says that it's inspired by Pacific Northwest, which I love a Pacific Northwest pattern. I design patterns inspired by the Pacific Northwest, so anytime there's a Pacific Northwest pattern, I'm in. And I also love a big shawl, and the Wellerman it's a big shawl. There's 2 sizes to the shawl, and each size is determined by what yarn weight that you knit it with. The smaller size is using sport weight, and the bigger size is using Aran or worsted yarn. So I'll probably knit it with a worsted Aran yarn because I want that big, cozy, warm shawl. And every time I look at it, I'm just really struck by the different cable patterns on it. It does feel very Pacific Northwesty, and I really like it. And I think it'll be so cozy. I really like it. So, Wellerman by Caitlin Hunter. Alright, next one is another pattern that I had on my 2023 Make 9 that I didn't get to. But I still really want to make it, and I still really want the finished product. So this is Brio Shalicious by Andrea Mowry. It is a fingering weight shawl that is done predictably in brioche and garter stitch. I love knitting in brioche. It seemed like a happy win-win for me. I just need to make it, and I still haven't made it, but soon. So it's a crescent shaped shawl. It's a lot of sh in there. And I have all of the yarn picked out for it, and it's been sitting and waiting for this moment. So the main color I'm going to use is Knit Picks Twill Fingering in the color Horchata Heather. It is 100% superwash merino, and it has a really, really nice twist to it. I'm excited to use it. I've been wanting to use this yarn for a while, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a year, waiting to be used for this shawl. And then I have got 3 complementary colors. This is still packaged in its sock set. I'm not going to use the sock set, the mini for it, but it's just easier to keep them together for now. So these are the 3 colors I will be using. All of them are by Sorella, and all of them are from the Disneyland collection, because I'm a huge Disney nerd, and I love these colors. So we have got these two are on Classic Sock, which is 100% superwash merino, and this one is on nylon sock, which is an 80/20, because I did buy this one at a different time than these two. So first one here is Beware Hitchhiking Ghosts. And I did originally use this in my Stephen West MCal 2 years ago. I don't remember what it's called. This one is Big Thunder Mountain. And I used this originally on my Haven sweater by Kate Oates, which is still to this day my favorite sweater that I have ever knit. Okay, so there's those two. And then this one is Animal Kingdom. And it just kind of takes these two colors together, and it's just all in one skein. And I think this one is Cars Land. So this, if I can hold them all up, this is going to be my Brio Shalicious, and I'm really excited to make it. I'm really excited to work all of these up together and have a cozy little Disneyland shawl. Last category that we have is small accessories, and I said earlier, I'm in my small accessories era. I'm really excited to make like smaller projects. So here, I feel like this is less of my 2024, this section is less of my 2024 making plans and more of what are things that I'm excited to make right now, which kind of is just what this video is, because I know as the year goes on, like, what I want to make is going to change. So while it kind of feels a little bit silly to call this my 2024 making goals, this is like my broad plan for the year. This section, however, is totally what I feel like making right now. So let's get into it. First up is the Agate Beach Hat by Lindsay Fowler. And it is from this book right here, Salt and Timber Knits from the Northern Coast, all inspired, again, by the Pacific Northwest. So this is the Agate Beach Hat. It's another fingering weight pattern, and it's like perfect for scraps. And I've been trying to find a lot of scrap patterns lately. So I think it's really cute. It just seems like it would be a really great way to work up a fun little section, little sampling of scraps. I have such an extensive scrap bin right now that, like, anything I can do to get rid of some of them sounds like a great idea to me. It really is. And, like, let's be honest too, anything in this book is on my 2024 want to make list. Like, really, really badly. I want to make everything from this book. I have another project from this book in my queue right now that I contemplated putting in this video, but I didn't. I'll mention it though. It's a Lighthouse Keeper's pullover. I'm excited to make it, okay? But we'll move on. Next is another fingering weight pattern that I think would be really good for scraps. And I am not going to be able to pronounce this correctly. I feel, let's see, can I Google it? How to pronounce this word. I just did a little bit of searching to try and figure out how to pronounce the name of this pattern. I don't know if it's the Norwegian pronunciation or the French pronunciation. I kind of feel like it's probably the Norwegian. I'll say both and maybe somebody will be able to give me an answer. This is a mitten pattern by Isolde Teague, and it is Milette in Norwegian or Millet in French. I'm inclined to believe it's the Norwegian version because it's a Selbu mitten, which is a Norwegian traditional mitten. It's done in fingering weight yarn, and again, this will be a really great way to use up some scraps. And they're cute. They've got that traditional cell boot design on the cuff, which is folded over, and then the star-shaped decrease up at the fingertips. I think it's adorable, and I really think that I will be using scraps to make this as well. And I'm really excited to make these too. I'm going to keep saying that. Next is another pair of mittens, and another one that I don't know what yarn I'm going to use for it yet. I actually have like a surprising lack of DK weight yarn right now. I have a lot of available yarn in worsted and a lot of available yarn in fingering, but not a lot of available yarn in DK. So I guess that means that I need to go enhance my stash. Sorry, I don't make the rules. This is the Snowdrift Mittens by Wool and Pine. It is done in a DK weight yarn, and it's just this really pretty little cable design over the back of the hand, completely bare on the palm, and it's cute. It just looks really cozy, and that's what I've wanted lately, is really cozy mittens. So these may get cast on soon if I can find a good DK weight yarn for them. I could even hold fingering weight double for it. Maybe I'll do that. That'd be cute. But they just look really, really cozy, which is really necessary around here. And for the third pair of mittens in a row, I've got the Evermore Mittens by Emma Pliska. And these are done in bulky weight yarn. And again, they are bare on the palm with the design on the back of the hand. And it's just this little section of some seed stitch. And it just looks really cute. And again, cozy, because that's my vibe right now, is cozy. It's so cold here. Okay, the last two I do have yarn to show for. The first one is by a designer that I know and love really well. I've knit so many of her patterns. My camera's actually sitting on my Seattle Doodle cowl right now. It's propping it up a little bit. By Jamie Lomax, who's Pacific Knit Co. This is the Melliferia cowl. And I have opted for the Infinity version. And it is a DK weight colorwork cowl. It is a little bit of her signature doodle, but not quite a full doodle. It's bees, and I'm really like loving bee designs right now. I think it's so cute. And like I said earlier, I don't like mohair around my neck, so what am I doing? I'm knitting it in mohair. I'm going to knit the colorwork in mohair held double, and I'm going to knit the background color in DK weight. I think this is the combo I'm going for. This is an old Knit Crate yarn. It's Audion Wool Calm in Pillow, the color Pillow. It's 80% wool, 10% silk, 10% mohair. It is so soft and just this beautiful, beautiful gray. And the color work is going to be done in this Hobie Diablo glitter, which is 37% acrylic, 31% polyamide, 28% mohair, and 4% polyester. So you can see it there. It has sparkles in it. It's a mohair that has glitter in it. How cool is that? So, these together, definitely this one, maybe this one. These together will be the Melliferia cowl by Jamie Lomax. And the last one is kind of a cop-out, because I'm making one right now, and I'm excited to make more. So I'm not calling it a cop-out, but there's an explanation for it for sure. So my vanilla project has always been socks. I love a sock. I love knitting socks. But lately I have not felt like knitting socks, but I need a good on-the-go vanilla project. Enter the Muscle Burrow by Isolde Teague. Small project still, easy to travel with, 1 skein of fingering weight yarn. It's vanilla. Knitting in a circle forever and ever and ever. So, I am knitting one right now. It is for my fiance, but I'm excited to make some for me. So I pulled for a couple skeins of yarns of things that I'm excited, potential ones that I would like to knit for me. So we will start. We got 2 knit picks, 2 hand dyed, and 1 other one. So both of these knit picks are Hawthorne. This one is in the color Hayden, and I think it's so fun, and it's bright and cheerful, and it's a moment. But we could also go a little bit more neutral, a little bit more plain, a little bit darker, moodier in the color Slabtown. This is a dark purpley red. Okay, so those are 2 options. We have Serial Knitters Dye House, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Cherry Creek Sock is the name of her sock base, in the color Patina. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I love this color so much. Stunning. We have my favorite knitter, or my favorite yarn that I use all the time, Yarnaceous. Her Salta fingering in the color Gorgeosaurus. I'm obsessed with this yarn. I am obsessed with this one. And because I'm in the Christmas spirit right now, we have Cascade Heritage Prints in the color 60 Holiday Stripe. This one totally won't be done. Like, I won't start knitting this one up until probably this time next year. But how cheerful and fun would this be for a muscle burrow, for a hat in a Christmas self-striping yarn? It would be so fun. So, those are some options. I've got some good options. Let me know which one you would pick. I kind of feel like right now, this one might be the first one I do for me. But there's options. I've got an extensive sock yarn collection that has been waiting to be used. And I keep putting it off, and I keep buying some more sock yarn. And I'm ready to not knit socks for a little bit, so muscle burrow it is. So that is everything I've got for my 2024 making goals. I'm not going to call it a Make 9 this year because I have more than 9 projects that I felt like talking about. But I've done Make 9s in the past 2 years. I just don't feel like holding myself to it this year. I've had a lot going on in my life, and I just don't quite feel like it. So those are my 2024 making goals. Let me know down below, like, what's the one project that you are most excited to make next year? Like, what is your dream knitting for next year? Add to my list, make me talk about more things next year, and let me add things to my queue. So tell me what you're excited to knit, and which of these projects do you think will be the most fun to knit? Because I'm excited. So if you are excited to see any of these in action, subscribe so that we can keep hanging out together and you can see me working on these projects throughout the year. And with that, I'll see you all next weekend with a new podcast video. Bye, friends.